Hi guys, today I'm going to be doing a progress report on my T-Rex 550 DFC. The build's going good so far. A few things that it's loose right now. Everything's off. A lot of stuff is not Loctited down right now, but I'm going to get around to do that. Right now, it's cold outside in Wisconsin, so I'm not really in a big hurry to get it done, so I'm kind of just putzing with it. It's not like a mad rush to get it done, but springtime, it's going to be done for sure. Hopefully. I'm a little bit of a procrastinator sometimes. But the build went well. Everything is loosely fitted on here. I didn't do everything like the manual. I was gonna take the wires and route all the wires on one side, but I decided not to. Decided to go back to the manual. So it's kind of a hodgepodge how I did it right now. But eventually, it's all gonna work out fine. I like how it's nice and shiny. It has 2 mm thick carbon fiber for the frame. It looks really strong. I mean, it's stronger than most T-Rexes, the older generations. Right down here, you can't see it, but there's a number that's supposed to, and then there's another serial number on the other side too. So you kind of, when you're building one, you want to match both of them up so they're facing out. Otherwise, it could be backwards, but it doesn't really matter. But like I said, everything's loosely fitted on here. I can take this off. I'm going to show you a little bit what I did. One thing, it says in the manual, you're supposed to sand like these edges. So I got like some of these, let's see, some of these files from Harbor Freight, and I decided to start sanding. So I went around and I sanded all the edges around and make it nice and smooth. And it looks good. It looks good and it feels good. The other thing that I did was wires and stuff. You can kind of see inside there. It all has this braided wire type of stuff on here. And it's obviously it's not set up right, but this is just what it looks like right there. I kind of like the orange because if you look at like the servos, they're orange. This one's yellow, but that's the tail servo. And let's see. Oh yeah. And we got like orange spectrum. So I thought that the orange would look good. You can get different colors, different colors orange. And I didn't go right to the edge with them because I decided when I need to plug them into my receiver, my flybarless unit, I needed a little bit of turn because this stuff is pretty thick. It does take a little bit of vibrations and it travel through vibration a little bit. So you want to kind of be just be aware of that. But yeah, this is my first one, so I'm not exactly sure on how it's going to work out. But so far, I'm really impressed on it right now. This is the elevator one. It's gonna look nice. Yeah, that's what it is. You just have to be careful when you're doing it that you don't melt your wires when you're heat shrinking that stuff. You got to be careful with that. And it's not really super hard, but when you're cutting this, you should probably cut it. Then if you have a cigarette lighter, kind of melt the ends down real quick. Otherwise, it might fray a little bit. Just dab it really quick, and then you should be good to go on that. This is the other ESC. This is all the ESC. I took all the wires and I heat shrink that, put the braided wire on it. This is the EC5 connector. It went pretty well on soldering. Yeah, so this is the lead that goes into my flybarless unit. But yeah, overall, I kind of like the look of it so far. I think once it's all set up, it's going to be really nice inside there. On that, this is the braided wire type of stuff that I got. I got this from let's see, it's called Experience RC. I think it's in Detroit. I was traveling. I do a lot of traveling for work, and I just ran across it when I had some time off. So I went into the hobby shop and I looked, and it's huge. It's called Experience RC. They have every single helicopter imaginable. They have like T-Rex, obviously, Blade. they have the Goblins, they have every type. I mean, they have parts for every single helicopter too. So it's just a huge RC shop for helicopters. I was very impressed. So obviously when I was there, I had to buy a few things. Kind of added up kind of quickly, but that's what happens when you're in the sport. So overall, it's going well. I got a few other things. I have this DFC head that I'm putting together, and I put it together, and it's supposed to be nice and smooth. Now it's nice and smooth, but it was grindy. So I took it back to my hobby shop, and they said, yeah, we'll replace it. And it ended up being a couple bad bearings in one of the blade grips. So they just replaced it for me. So that was nice. I'm glad that the hobby shop can do something like that. So now everything's working good right now on that. Everything's Loctited. So we're gonna stick that on up on top up here. Let's see. I can't do it, but anyways. So that's what it's gonna look like eventually, and then with the blade grips and all that stuff on, and so that was neat. This tail is basically all ready to go. Everything's Loctited on there. This I didn't realize, but this is the same tail as the 700, so it's pretty cool. It's I guess the 550, 600, and 700 have the same tail on it, and it is beefy. Coming from the blade lineup, this thing is awesome. I mean, it's all metal. It's awesome. It just feels really solid and really strong. It's pretty neat. So we'll see how that goes. Obviously if I whack it, I'm gonna pay the price, but it's pretty cool. So yeah, then I was setting, this is kind of a funny story. I was setting up my servos, getting it all set up to put my servo arms on, and I had it, this was kind of dumb. I had it kind of dangling right here, so it was kind of off, and I had all the servos hooked up to it, and it's kind of dangling right here. And I thought I didn't want to hook up the big, the big ESC. Oh yeah, the big ESC to it, because at that time I didn't have it all set up, and so I plugged in this little 40 amp speed control on it right now, and I thought, oh, it should work. And well, and it did work, but I touched the flybarless unit. And it started wiggling. Well, then all the servos started wiggling at the same time, started moving, and that created a lot of. It must have used a lot of power on this little machine, Beck, and it started getting super hot. I was just using a little 3-cell battery, and it started almost overheating. So I quick unplugged it, but so I kind of canned that idea on what I was gonna do. I thought it was just gonna be a quick, easy way to set up my servos, but I think I have to use the official 90 amp speed control that they have, because that little one just won't handle it. I thought it'd just be a little bit more convenient to use, but no. So then I was going to show you some, these things are really cool. They're made by Align. They're drivers. They're just hex drivers. They come in 4 different sizes. They work really well. I like them. I like the colors. Some other drivers I was looking at too, they had more writing on the different sizes. The bigger the letters where the sizes were, like the size of the hex wrench. But I didn't go with them. I just like the name of them. So that's kind of what I put them. That's why I got them. I like the colors too. They just look cool. So anyways, that's what I got there. Let's see. And then other thing I was going to show you. Here's my battery. I got my battery for my T-Rex. Soldered a EC5 on. So that sticks on the big battery right there. It's going to be huge on that. Let's see. Other thing I got over here. Some Loctite. Now, just have to be careful when you're using Loctite. You don't want to put too much on, because it can wreck bearings and stuff. Just a little bit. And once you dab a little bit on, kind of work it in with your hands through the threads, that's going to help out quite a bit. A lot of people put too much on, then it can wreck bearings. Obviously, if you put too little on, it's not going to help at all. But most of the cases, just a little bit a little bit works. You can always check it too by just removing a screw and seeing how tight it is. But 9 times out of 10, it's good. But one thing you do also want to do is just it kind of sits around and it kind of separates a little bit too. So you kind of want to have it diluted a little bit. Or it kind of dilutes itself. So once you shake it up, it's good, and that's that full strength. And that's kind of what you want right there. Other people, they put them in bottles, and or they have syringes and stuff. That works well. I got some Tri-Flow grease. It's clear grease, so these are gonna go all on in my bearings or in my gears and stuff, and this should help too. It's high temp and waterproof, so it should work good. I was just going to use the traditional grease, but I decided not to. So that's kind of what my build is so far, guys. Overall, it's going well, and hopefully by the end of winter, early spring, I should have it up and running. So thanks for watching. Bye.